Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Rise of the Phoenix, and in this video I'm going to go over my new early game ring build for Season 2 of Rise to War. But first, if you enjoy my content, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and like this video. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and roll the intro. Welcome back everyone. At the time of recording this video, I will have been playing Season 2 for almost exactly 1 week. We're 1 hour shy of 1 week on the dot. Season 2 has been a lot of fun so far, but there have also been quite a few headaches. The good news is that Angmar is a absolutely full faction, and the bad news is that Angmar is an absolutely full faction, which means at the beginning of the game, tiles were really hard to come by. I even witnessed people betraying each other for 15 power tiles on the first day that the server was live, which was absolutely absurd to me, but I guess some players are just greedy. Due to the scarcity of tiles and resources, I've made a major adjustment to my ring build. I have some math to show you for those of you that like spreadsheets and math. Let's go ahead and check out the ring, and we'll get to the math in a couple of minutes. So in the very beginning, I picked up 10 of 10 in experience. This is like the best ring skill in the early game, arguably the best ring skill in the entire tree, although control is definitely up there, and the mock battle stuff is up there as well. But EXP is the absolute must-take 10 of 10 in the beginning, in my opinion. Actually, I take it back. Dominance is the best on the tree, but like, okay, yeah, whatever. Besides dominance, obviously you always take this guy every single time you're able to. But yeah, I want EXP, and then I came up for control, which obviously is an amazing ability. It gives you 30 ability points instead of 20, but more importantly, it makes them recharge faster. The way ability points work, for anybody that doesn't know, is you get your max ability points every 24 hours. So when you have 20 ability points, every 24 hours you gain 20 points. When you have 30 ability points, every 24 hours you gain 30 points. So kind of straightforward. I wish the skill actually told you that. I mean, kind of like once it's explained, it makes sense, but it doesn't actually say that, which is kind of unfortunate. But yes, control is very good. If I was to restart Season 2 right now, this is the major change that I would make. I would not max control second. Believe it or not, no troll, this is serious. I would max Levy as my second skill. I don't know if this is just because of my experience with my server being, in my faction in particular, being so crowded, or if this is just a Season 2 thing. I had just never felt extraordinarily strapped for resources in Season 1 after the first day or two. You know, I was able to get by with maxing control, gathering when I needed to, and maybe it's because of the red book, I don't know. Whatever it is, resources were way harder to come by for me in Season 2. So if you're struggling with resources, this is the skill you'll want to take. I'll show the math on why here in a couple minutes. So just to recap, I would go EXP first, obviously dominance, yep. Then I would go Levy as my second skill. After that, I would come back up for control. Anyways, after that, I'm coming down for powerful sweeping. This skill is insanely good for taking tiles. I think everybody knows by now that stationary armies means tile defenders and structure defenders. So this helps you take tiles because your army's doing more damage, helps you take tiles easier, and it also helps you with sieges if you're one of the people that's going to be killing the defending armies, because you're going to be doing more damage to the armies defending those keeps and crossings and whatever else it is you're taking. And then after that, I think I'm going to max Abundant Force. I haven't fully decided on this yet. I put a couple points in here just for funsies. Yeah, I should have powerful sweeping max, but 1% damage in the long run isn't that much, and plus I'll be able to pick this up soon anyways. I wanted to do this because with the tiles being a little bit more difficult, or maybe it's just evil side, I've noticed that my barracks are always somewhat on the scarce side of things. I'm always kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, except for when I first wake up in the morning and have had a full night of conscription to work with. So I'm going to test this out to see if I notice a difference in my barracks capacity. If I wasn't taking abundant force, I would be highly considering effortless sweeping, because you can get a lot of extra EXP from this. Mobs that you sweep tend to be very easy, so you're not going to take many casualties when you're fighting them, and it's an extra source of grain, so it's a way to get extra experience, and it's a way to get extra resources, which, like I've said before in this video, have been really, really difficult for me to come by. After that, once I take my 200 tile, I'm definitely going to be putting max yield and either max rationing or efficiency. I haven't decided yet. If resources are still tight, I'll probably take rationing first. Otherwise, I'll take efficiency. And at some point soon, I need to come back up here for stamina. So for mock battle grinding, what you really, really want is max control, max stamina, max EXP. These other guys help out as well, but being able to go to sleep and wake up with 150 stamina rather than 120 stamina is actually quite a nice boost. And I talked in my original ring build video about why stamina, in my opinion, is super, super good for PvP. I'll just recap it real quick here for you guys. And it's because if you have, let's say, 6 commanders, and they all have 150 stamina because you know you're about to have a battle, you know you're about to attack somewhere, that means each commander gets 7.5 moves. So you can give your commanders 7 move orders, attack orders, whatever it is. It's 20 stamina per, that's 140 stamina. And then they get to have 10 stamina left over, meaning 30 minutes from the time that you give your first move, they will have regenerated enough stamina to do another move. So you get 7.5 moves. Somebody that doesn't have stamina is only going to get 6 moves per army. So they get 6 moves up front, you get 7 moves up front. That's an extra move per army, and your 8th move is going to come sooner than their 7th move. So you're basically 2 steps ahead of them, 1.5 steps ahead of them, which is super awesome in this game, very vital for pushing places, because a lot of times the limitation in PvP on being able to push is due to stamina, and you don't want your armies having to sit around and wait during a war declaration, especially in the very early game when the cooldown on those war declarations is 2 days long. If your entire faction has stamina maxed out, that is no exaggeration, thousands potentially of extra attacks that your faction gets to make, which can definitely be the difference in taking a keep, killing enough forts, just getting the job done, whatever needs to be done. All of those extra moves really add up. All right, let's get to the math. So unfortunately, this is kind of not pretty. I guess you would say this is a little bit spontaneous showing the math here. We'll break it down real quick why Levy is awesome. If we look at the amount of resources that is gathered from a 150 power tile at the base level, that's 36,000 per gather. So 3 ability points, you get 36,000 resources. If we account for 10 of 10 in control, that means you're going to get 30 ability points per 24 hours instead of 20, which is equivalent to 3 1/3 extra gathers. In other words, it is about 120,000 extra resources per 24 hours compared to not having control. If you have control and harvest increasing the amount gathered by 30% once you get 10 of 10 here, the base amount goes to 46,800 resources per gather, and that comes out to be about 156,000 extra resources per 24 hour. That's pretty good, and I actually thought this was the way to go before I broke down the math. However, I did the math, and here's what came out. With my current structure bonus, and you can see it here, actually it just went up because I finished the Morgul quarters. Of course, that would happen literally right as I'm recording the video, but oh well. So I'm actually getting a little bit more stone the math shows, but it actually works in Levy's favor. So, and these, keep in mind, these are not even fully upgraded tributes yet for my Town Hall level. I can still put 2 levels in here, and 2 levels in there, and 2 levels in that one, and my Eastern Quarters is about to finish. So this is not even fully upgraded at Main Hall 8. You can see the bonuses here. Actually, I'm so silly. I forgot to pull this away. So that's my current bonuses. Sorry about that, guys. I would re-record the entire video, but we'll just roll with it. We'll bring back up the math. All right, so getting back to the math, we have our Levy bonus per hour listed there, and I'll show you guys here just so you can make sure that it does line up. Down at the bottom, you can see the extra resources provided by my ring. If we add all of those together and multiply by 24, so we get 214,000 extra resources per 24 hours. Almost 53,000 extra wood, 50,000 extra stone, 60,000 extra ore, like 60,500 extra ore, and 50,400 extra grain. So as far as total resources goes, Levy actually completely blows control plus harvest out of the water, and it only costs you 10 points, I guess, sort of in a way 12 points. But if we're just looking at Levy itself, that's 10 points. Control and harvest would be 20 points. So for half the points, you're getting 60, what's the quick math? About 60,000 extra resources per day. I will say the one downside to Levy is that you do have to make sure that you are upgrading your tribute buildings as much as you can every single town hall level. That can be somewhat expensive on the resources as they get to the higher levels. But for me, who's been really struggling with resources this early game, it has been absolutely worth it. Your quarters, you're going to be upgrading them to the maximum all the time anyway, because you want to get extra gold every single levy so you can get your units upgraded more quickly, build more forts, drop fortresses if you're a leader or officer. So overall, Levy is amazing, and it blew me out of the water when I did this math. I was sitting around with like no resources, and I was like, man, I have to fix this. Let me go do the math. How can I get the most possible resources starting right now? And that was 10 of 10 in Levy. It's the new meta, boys. I'm calling it. This thing is amazing. All right, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments which ring skills you have found to be most useful in Season 2 so far. I'll see you in the next one. Rise of the Phoenix, over and out.